China might be the most misunderstood country for foreigners because some cities there feel like the future and others feel impossible to live in. When most people think about China, they imagine massive cities, skyscrapers, technology, crowds, fast trains, and a country moving faster than almost anywhere else in the world. But here's what surprises many foreigners. China is not just one experience. Different cities in China can feel like completely different worlds. Some cities feel futuristic and ultra-modern. Others feel slower and deeply traditional. Some are perfect for digital nomads and expats. Others can feel overwhelming, isolating, and difficult for foreigners. And recently, more remote workers, entrepreneurs, teachers, and content creators have become curious about China again, especially because of advanced infrastructure, affordable daily life in some cities, amazing food, fast transportation, modern convenience, safety, and the energy of rapidly growing cities. But living in China as a foreigner also comes with major realities many people underestimate, and a digital ecosystem completely different from Western countries. So what are the best cities in China for foreigners and digital nomads? And what is daily life there actually like? And by the end of this video, you may completely rethink what living in China actually looks like. 1. Shanghai. If there's one city that surprises foreigners the most in China, it's probably Shanghai, because many people arrive expecting something chaotic and difficult, but instead, they discover a city that feels futuristic, efficient, modern, and incredibly global. Shanghai is often considered the easiest entry point into China for foreigners, and there's a reason for that. The city already has a long history of international influence, which means, compared to many other Chinese cities, foreigners usually find more English support, larger expat communities, more international restaurants, more global businesses, and a slightly easier adjustment period. But here's the interesting part. Shanghai doesn't just feel modern, it feels fast. Everything moves quickly. Food delivery, transportation, digital payments, online shopping, even daily errands feel hyper-efficient. And many foreigners say after living in Shanghai, other cities suddenly feel slow. Who Shanghai is best for? Shanghai is ideal for first-time expats in China, entrepreneurs, remote workers, tech professionals, foreigners wanting modern convenience, people who enjoy fast city life. 2. Beijing. Beijing feels completely different from Shanghai, and many foreigners notice this immediately. While Shanghai feels polished and international, Beijing feels powerful, historical, serious, and deeply connected to Chinese identity and politics. Living in Beijing often feels more culturally immersive because the city preserves much more of traditional China's atmosphere. Ancient architecture, historical landmarks, traditional neighborhoods, and political importance shape the city's personality. Beijing attracts a different type of foreigner: academics, researchers, language learners, journalists, people interested in Chinese history and politics, and people genuinely want to understand China more deeply. Many foreigners say Beijing feels less commercialized emotionally, but also more intense mentally. Challenges. The language barrier can feel stronger here compared to Shanghai, and some foreigners say Beijing feels less internationally comfortable. But for others, that's exactly why they love it, because Beijing feels more authentically Chinese. 3. Shenzhen. Shenzhen may be one of the most shocking cities foreigners experience, because just decades ago it was relatively small. Now, it feels like a science fiction city. Massive skyscrapers, tech headquarters, digital systems everywhere, and non-stop innovation energy. Why entrepreneurs love Shenzhen. Shenzhen attracts startup founders, tech workers, e-commerce entrepreneurs, engineers, and remote workers connected to manufacturing industries. Because Shenzhen operates incredibly fast, ideas become products quickly here, and the business energy feels intense. Modern convenience. Everything in Shenzhen feels digital. Cashless systems dominate daily life. Smart technology is everywhere, and infrastructure feels extremely modern. For many foreigners, this becomes addictive. 4. Chengdu. Chengdu might be the most loved city among foreigners emotionally, and many expats who move there stay far longer than expected, because Chengdu feels balanced, big enough to offer modern convenience, but relaxed enough to feel livable long-term. Slower lifestyle. Compared to Shanghai or Shenzhen, Chengdu feels calmer, people move slower, life feels less rushed, and foreigners often describe the atmosphere as more human and relaxed mentally. This becomes especially attractive for remote workers, creatives, younger expats, and long-term foreigners. 5. Hangzhou. Hangzhou often surprises foreigners visually because the city feels beautiful. Lakes, nature, modern architecture, and cleaner, calmer atmosphere compared to megacities. Why foreigners love Hangzhou? Many expats describe Hangzhou as emotionally easier, less overwhelming, less aggressive, and more peaceful mentally. The city balances technology, nature, convenience, and beauty extremely well.
6. Xiamen. Xiamen feels different immediately. Cleaner air, slower pace, warmer weather, and a more relaxed coastal atmosphere. Many foreigners say Xiamen feels easier emotionally than China's megacities. Lifestyle appeal. Beach access, walkability, relaxed scenery, seafood culture, and calmer energy attract foreigners wanting balance rather than nonstop intensity. 7. Dali. Dali is where Chinese digital nomads go to escape. It's where artists, writers, and free spirits have gathered for decades, and in the last few years, it's become a hotspot for foreign nomads too. Why? First, the cost. A one-bedroom apartment with a lake view, 1,500 to 3,000 yuan, $210 to $420. A meal at a local restaurant, 10 to 20 yuan, $1.40 to $2.80. You can live on 5,000 yuan a month, $700, and live well. Second, the lifestyle. Dali Old Town is a maze of cobblestone streets, traditional bi-minority architecture, and courtyard cafes. The pace is glacial. People wake up late, drink coffee all morning, hike in the afternoon, and gather for bonfires at night. Dali has a genuine nomad community. Not the Instagram kind, the real kind. People who've been here for years, who know each other, who help each other. There are co-working spaces, language exchanges, and a support network that exists because people choose to be here. 8. Kunming. Kunming is the capital of Yunnan province, and it's called the Spring City because the weather is literally perfect year-round, 20 degrees Celsius, every single day. No air conditioning needed, no heating needed, just perfect, mild weather. It's like someone designed a city and set the thermostat to 68 degrees Fahrenheit permanently. For digital nomads, Kunming is the practical choice if you love Yunnan but need infrastructure. You get the weather, the diversity, the low costs, and the airport. It's the compromise that works. The honest truth: should you move to China? China is not for everyone. Let me say that again. China is not for everyone, and that's okay. China is for you if you can handle bureaucracy with patience, you're comfortable with a VPN as your daily companion, you want to learn Mandarin or already speak it, you value efficiency, infrastructure, and low costs, you're curious about a culture radically different from your own, you have a clear visa path, work, business, or student, you can adapt to a society where rules are flexible. China is not for you if you need Google, Facebook, and Instagram to function, you can't handle air quality that occasionally hits hazardous levels, you want a democratic political environment, you need personal space and quiet, China is dense and loud, you can't eat with chopsticks or tolerate spicy food, you want a quick, easy visa process, you're uncomfortable with surveillance and data monitoring.